On this episode of the Whiskey Tornado, we review Bardstown Discovery Series 12. According to Bardstown's website, Discovery Series highlights the art of blending, creating exciting expressions that together are greater than the sum of its parts. Through artfully combining rare whiskeys they discover throughout the world, they push the boundaries of innovation. The latest edition's blend is nearly one-half a single 14-year-old Kentucky bourbon. Notably, 8% of the blend includes a 6-year-old 4-grain bourbon distilled by Bardstown themselves. Discovery 12 is a blend of 4 bourbons aged 6, 10, and 14 years old, coming in at 115.2 proof with a price tag of around $140. Welcome back to the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host, Lance. I'm excited to get into this one for you guys. Discovery Series has taken a little bit of a fall since Discovery 3, Discovery 4. As you can tell, I have been into this bottle and have really been enjoying it. I brought it to some bottle shares. It is getting fantastic reviews. So I'm excited to nose this for you, taste it, talk about the finish. If you're new to the channel, at the end of this video, I will tell you guys whether this is a buy, pass, or bunker based on where you are in your bourbon journey. With all that being said, let's get into the nose on this. Oh, man, goodness. That is just overwhelming fruit, man. It is like fruit cocktail explosion on the nose. There's corn, there's honey. There's almost like this plumminess to it. Maybe like a whisper of earthiness. And I'm not too fond of that earthiness note particularly, but if it's a whisper, I kind of enjoy it. This is just barely a whisper. Most people probably wouldn't even pick up on it. Very, very complex nose. Absolutely beautiful. Again, you guys know I love a good nose. It makes you excited about what you're about to drink. So with that being said, let's get into the first sip. Cheers, everybody. Boy, Bardstown has got a hit on their hands with this. That first sip, I mean, I'm going to have to take some more sips because that first sip was just an explosion of fruit cocktail syrup. You know, there is some 14-year-old rumored to be turkey in this blend. We don't know if it's wild turkey, but it probably is. That first sip was just this explosion. There's no 14-year-old turkey, you know, sometimes can have that sweet aged oak. There's no sweet aged oak to this. This is more of a fruit bomb, but it's not like your apples and pears. This is more kind of your dark fruits, more of what we've been missing since Discovery 3 and Discovery 4, which I absolutely loved. Discovery 3, I think, was our bourbon of the year one year back in the day. So this is getting back to that, which I absolutely love. The first sip was just overwhelming explosion of cocktail fruit syrup. So let's get into the second sip here. Second sip was dominated by honey, actually. The cocktail fruit syrup kind of subsided. I got more honey, more corn sweetness through there, and also some orange spice. I often get orange spice in some wild turkey products, so I don't know if that's coming through. What's interesting is I'm getting more of the corn sweetness in this than as the bottle gets down. So as the bottle gets air, maybe some of the youthful Bardstown, that 6-year 4-grain is kind of shining. When I first opened this bottle, I wasn't getting any of that. And not that this is youthful in any way. It's just rather than it just being like overwhelming, dense, concentrated fruit syrup, a little bit of that honey corn is kind of coming through, cutting through the fruit on that second sip. So let's get into the third sip. Now we're back home. We're back to fruit covered in honey. That third sip brought a little bit of leather, a little bit of the age, probably from that 10 year. You know, there's probably turkey in here, Beam, Heaven Hill, and then the Bardstown 4-grain. This is just a masterful blend. It is a masterclass in blending. I think Bardstown's really flexing with this this blend. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love that they put their own juice in here, their 4-grain, 6-year stuff in here. I think it complements it really nice. The texture is beautiful. It's very oily. There's nothing to hate about this. This is like bourbon of the year category. This is robe and slippers kind of bourbon. At 115 proof, it's perfect. The finish is kind of medium. You know, it swells up with all these fruit, honey, kind of corn notes, and then gently rolls away. There's nothing that fights you on this. I think this is absolutely beautiful. I am gonna put this in our bourbon of the year running. It's that good. If I had this, I would buy it. I would back it up. What worries me is it's very delicate. It's for 115 proof, it is still a delicate whiskey. And when you put it in a blind with things like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof or even Russell's 15, I'm really interested to see how it holds up, because it is such a delicate kind of robe and slippers kind of whiskey. This is a whiskey I think you need to almost sit alone with and explore. It is very, very complex. There is a lot going on. There is a lot happening in this whiskey, but it's just so beautifully blended and well balanced. The texture is beautiful. Man, well done, Bardstown. Masterclass in blending. You guys are back to where you were with Bardstown Discovery 3 and 4. I absolutely love this. Now let's talk about if this is a bypass or bunker based on where you are in your bourbon journey. If you're a bourbon beginner, this is a $140 bottle. That's probably pretty expensive for a bourbon beginner. So while I think you would like this, and you probably might need to add a little bit of water because it's at 115 proof, I think that some of the nuance and some of the complexity might pass you by, but I still think you're gonna love this. So if $140 is not an issue for you, I would buy this. If you're a bourbon intermediate, this is 100% a buy. You're starting to get into that a little bit more proofy stuff at 115, but this is delicate enough where it's not gonna strangle you. It's not gonna be too hard to drink. And you're going to start to learn to pick up some of the complexities that you may have not picked up when you were a beginner. If you're a bourbon aficionado, you already know this is a buy 100%. It's a backup. I would, at $140, I used to think these were maybe a little expensive, but in today's market, $140 for what's in this bottle is absolutely a fantastic deal. I would buy these. I would back these up. This is one I would get probably a case of. It's just an artfully blended bourbon using some great legacy Kentucky distilleries. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. We will see you on the next one. Cheers, everybody.
Then